Tension is high. Everywhere is getting hotter as the junta in Niger is not bowing back. Don't forget that France has started deploying their tanks to Niger through Nigeria. Take a look at this.
Armored personnel carriers, and they just got out of the Onel port in Rivers State. Today's date is the 7th of August 2023, and this is what we saw this night. A lot of armored vehicles leaving Onel port, FOT to be precise.
Armored personnel carriers.
So guys, one might ask, why is France desperate about invading Niger? Niger has been so quiet, all this while, allowing them to take their mineral resources. But now they are saying no to that. And you can see France forcefully wanting to regain control over Niger again. Sadly, Nigeria is allowing itself to be an instrument in the hands of France. So guys, let me allow you listen to one of the ex-presidents from Gambia, what he has got to say about fighting a war in Africa in such a critical moment like this.
Killing each other is not a solution. Unfortunately, our brothers and sisters in the newest state in Africa, which is endowed with oil, are killing each other today. There would be no one country that would be inhabited by one tribe. There is no such country. But if you say that you don't want a particular tribe, and you believe that you are going to heaven, you are not going to decide which tribe goes to heaven. Now, are you going to tell God that, oh, I don't want to go to heaven and be a neighbor to a Mandinka or a Jola or a Serere? Take me back to hell, because if you go to hell also you'll find them there. I think this world is big enough for us to accommodate each other. It is also small enough for all of us to live together as a closely knit one family of the human beings. Violence would not take any country forward. The more we fight in Africa, the more backwards we become, the poorer we become, and the more we are exposed to external dictate. Even food aid now for conflict areas is being politicized. I think rather than spend those billions on arms to kill each other, let us spend those billions on agricultural machinery, agro-processing, where Africa is lagging behind, mining equipment, petroleum drilling equipment, and set up our own companies. Unfortunately, there is even less intra-African trade. And our trade with the outside world amounts to billions of dollars. But we trading even amongst ourselves is a problem. Why can't we, for the sake of our children, the sake of our continent, and for the dignity of black people all over the world, unite, reconcile, work together as a formidable continent? Because we are the wealthiest continent on the face of the earth in terms of natural endowments. Unfortunately, in realistic economic terms, we are the poorest of the poor. Everybody is looking low upon us. Whereas our own natural resources are being used to fatten those people that hate us. The same natural resources, our own natural resources, are being used to kill our own people.
A Pan-Africanist, I am very concerned about the happenings in Africa, especially West Africa. Yagut, of recent, I have seen the ECOWAS introducing the anti-coup d'etat unit. ñu ne pour coup d'etat dafa war a stop ku ko def they will form a big unit ñu ñëw attaque la. We are not in support of coup d'etat. Let me make that very clear. And I want them to hear this. We are not in support of coup d'etat. I was a member of the Pan-African Parliament and have advocated strongly for us to introduce a term limit to make sure that we do away with coup d'etats in Africa, especially in West Africa. So meaning, I am not in support of coup d'etat. But I have a concern. Before setting up a unit or anti-coup d'etat unit in ECOWAS, isn't it time that the African head of states or the ECOWAS head of states look into the reason why there are coup d'etats? What are the root causes of coup d'etats? Let them put their house in order first before they set up an anti-coup d'etat unit. Let them put their house in order. And I believe their house is not in order. This unit is set up to defend them and to protect them only, nobody else. What is more coup d'etat than your national constitution gives you 2-term limit, 5 years, 2 terms. After serving 10 years, you want to change the constitution for another term. Is that not a coup d'etat? Because you feel you have the powers to do that. The soldiers have the powers to coup d'etat. That is also another coup d'etat. And they are living with them there. They are there. In the name of civilian, putting on mufti clothes, calling yourself a Democrat, when you loot all the resources of your country, mislead people, torture them, imprison them, burn their businesses to us, and you call that a democracy? Or a civilian rule and an illegally elected government? The leaders must stop lying to their electorate first. They must stop the corruption. They must stop looting our resources. They must understand that they are not a better citizen than anybody. They are given a responsibility, a role to play to help develop the countries and make sure that there is peace and tranquility and respect the constitution of the country. But this is not happening. Example is this government. This government has lied to people in 2016 that they are going only for 3 years. Was that not a lie? Who asked them to tell people that we are going for 3 years? Were they forced to say that? They went around the whole country, lied to everyone. When the people started reminding them, this is what you promised us, they threw tear gas on them. And the president is bragging, yes, when I threw tear gas in them, they never came back. Does that not anger the citizens? You throw tear gas on your people. Some of them are wounded and you stand out there and bragging that I throw them a tear gas. They never come back. That alone can anger the citizens. You promised the people you will have a security sector reform. It's never happening. The civil service sector reform is never happening. The Jani Commission was violated before the end of the commission. When you take all the assets of the former president, and now you are busy buying assets. Your days are coming. I thought they should have learned, or they could have learned from this. Unfortunately, they are not learning. So before you create a unit to go against any attempt of coup d'etat, put your house in order. Stop lying to your electorate. Stop lying to your citizens. Stop looting the resources of your country. Stop corruption in your country. And then you can talk about anti-coup d'etat. When Alpha Conde was killing his people in Guinea, after serving 10 years, he said it was not enough. I want to serve another term. During the process, so many Guineans were killed. And I did not hear any ECOWAS going there or condemning him. You know why? Because Guinea was too big for them, or Alpha was dancing to their tune. Because I think that was why the small Gambia was surrounded all sides by soldiers and guns in 2016. Because Gambia was small, or Gambia is a small country, and Jammeh was not dancing to their tune. After the presidential election in Guinea, more than 300 Guineans were butchered, killed. No ECOWAS condemned him. No African Union condemned him. Instead, they pick up their phones and say, Monsieur le Président, félicitations, congratulations. That is the fair game that is happening in Africa. They can condemn Mali, they can condemn Guinea, they are soldiers. But the one in Chad, who has been given a red carpet to the African Union, was never condemned, and he's a soldier too. He's a soldier. They can give him a red carpet to the African Union. But the other soldiers are condemned for their attempt or for their act. Where is the fairness in ECOWAS or in the African Union? They are not representing us. I believe they are representing themselves. So we are calling them to remember that power belongs to the people. Alassane Ouattara knows how he came into power with Gbagbo. He knows. But he finished his 10-year term. He changed the constitution for another term. They are there with him. Nobody condemns him. They are not there to condemn him because he's dancing to their tune. So I'm calling on ECOWAS to do the right thing. We young Africans, we are here watching.
Honestly, Africans are tired of their colonial master. Africa wants to be free. Africa wants to be independent. Africa wants to be liberated. Africa is tired of being slaves in the hands of the West. And honestly, this is the time for us all to come out to support, you know, the independence of Africa, because we can't continue this way. Although we don't want a coup, but I think it's the time for the West to hands off the resources in Africa so that Africa can develop itself.